Alright, let's get into it. Patrick Lavin here. Today, we're going to dominate a critical part of the Pennsylvania Real Estate Exam Agency and disclosures. This is the foundation of your career, where you build trust, protect your clients, and protect yourself. We'll break down 10 core concepts you must know to pass, from the consumer notice to your duties to agency relationships, compensation, and more. We'll use real-world examples and finish with a quick-fire quiz to lock it all in. This isn't just about passing a test, it's about becoming a top-tier agent. Grab a notebook and let's get started. Chapter 1. The Consumer Notice. Before you discuss price or show a property, you must provide the consumer notice at the first substantive contact, when the conversation shifts to the consumer's finances, needs, or motivations. It's not a contract, but a disclosure explaining your role and the types of agency relationships available. This is a legal requirement under RAILRA. Miss it, and you risk disciplinary action. Example: if someone at an open house says, "I'm pre-approved for $500,000 and need to buy soon," that's substantive. Stop and present the consumer notice. It's about transparency and protecting the consumer before they share confidential info. On the exam, remember, timing is everything. First substantive contact. Master this and you're already ahead. It's a simple step, but it sets the tone for professionalism and trust. Get it right every time. Let's talk about your core duties: honesty and reasonable skill. Honesty means more than not lying. It's about being truthful in advertising, property details, and all dealings. If you know about a hidden defect, you must disclose it. Reasonable skill means you're expected to perform at the level of a competent agent in your community. Know your contracts, your market, and when to seek help. Stay current with laws and market trends. Your clients trust you with major decisions. On the exam, remember, honesty and skill go hand in hand. Honesty without skill leads to mistakes. Skill without honesty is unethical. Be both, a trusted, knowledgeable advisor. This is the heart of being a fiduciary. It's what sets true professionals apart. Now, disclosure of conflicts of interest. Absolute transparency is key. If you have any personal interest or relationship that could affect your duty to your client, you must disclose it immediately and in writing. Example: your brother wants to buy your listing. Disclose to the seller in writing before any offer. Same goes for recommending a company you have a stake in. Even the appearance of a conflict can erode trust. For the exam, spot scenarios where disclosure is required: family, business ties, or dual roles. The rule: if a reasonable person might question your impartiality, disclose. It protects your client, your license, and your reputation. Secrecy is the enemy. Disclosure is your shield. Always err on the side of transparency. Let's break down seller agency. When you sign a listing agreement, your fiduciary duty is to the seller, period. You owe them old car, obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable care. Customers, like buyers, get honesty and fairness, but your loyalty and confidentiality are for the seller. Never share the seller's private info without permission. On the exam, know your job is to advocate for the seller, not the buyer. Don't cross the line. No advice to buyers that harms your seller. Understand the difference between client and customer. That's the foundation of seller agency. Now, buyer agency. When you sign a buyer agency agreement, your fiduciary duties shift to the buyer. You protect their interests, keep their info confidential, and help them get the best deal. You're their strategist and negotiator, not just an opener of doors. Provide market analysis, point out issues, and advocate for their needs. This relationship is formalized in writing. On the exam, know your loyalty is to the buyer, not the seller. Keep their secrets, fight for their terms. Buyer agency levels the playing field. Know your role. Dual agency, one of the trickiest areas. This is when one agent or brokerage represents both buyer and seller in the same deal. You become a neutral facilitator, not an advocate. Your fiduciary duties are limited, no undivided loyalty, and confidentiality is restricted. You can't share one side's secrets with the other. Dual agency is only legal with informed written consent from both parties. On the exam, remember, no written consent, no dual agency. Many brokerages avoid it due to risk, but know the law. It's a legal tightrope. Get consent in writing every time. Designated agency is a smarter alternative. The broker appoints one agent for the seller, another for the buyer, both in the same firm. Each agent gives full loyalty and confidentiality to their client. Only the broker in charge is a true dual agent, remaining neutral. This structure allows both clients to get dedicated advocacy. Like dual agency, it requires informed, written consent from both parties. On the exam, no designated agency, =separate advocates, dual agency =neutral facilitator. It's a client-focused way to handle in-house deals. Let's talk about getting paid. Transparency is everything. You can't receive compensation from more than one party without full written disclosure and consent. Commissions usually come from the seller, but bonuses, referral fees, or direct payments must all be disclosed. No secret payments or kickbacks, ever. Disclose all compensation sources in writing, whether from the seller, buyer, or a third party. On the exam, watch for scenarios with hidden bonuses or gifts. Always disclose. Internal brokerage bonuses don't need client disclosure, but anything from outside does. Transparency in compensation is a cornerstone of ethical practice. When in doubt, disclose. Written consent is your legal shield. For dual or designated agency, or any change in agency status, you must get informed. Written consent. Explain what clients are agreeing to. Don't just hand them a form. Any modification to agreements must be in writing. Documentation prevents disputes and protects everyone. On the exam, if agency status changes or there's a high conflict scenario, think get it in writing. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. Make written consent your standard. It's time for a quick-fire quiz. Let's lock in what you've learned. Get ready to choose the best answer for each question. Question 1. When do you provide the consumer notice? A. At the closing table. B. After showing a property. C. At first substantive contact. D. When the client signs a contract. The correct answer is C. At first substantive contact. This ensures your client knows their rights and your role from the very beginning. Question 2. What's the difference between dual and designated agency? A. Dual means two agents, designated means one B. Dual =neutral facilitator, designated =separate advocates. C. Dual =buyer's agent, designated =seller's agent. D. Dual =no disclosure, designated =full disclosure. The correct answer is B. Dual means the agent is a neutral facilitator, while designated means each client has their own advocate within the same firm. Equal, not equal sign. Question 3. What's the golden rule for compensation? A. Only accept cash. B. Disclose all sources in writing and get client consent. C. Never discuss compensation. D. Only accept from your broker. The correct answer is B. Always disclose all sources of compensation in writing and get your client's consent. Transparency is key. If you nailed these, you're on track for exam success. These are the pillars. Don't miss them. Review any weak spots and remember, you're almost there. That's a wrap on agency and disclosure. You now have the blueprint for exam success and a foundation for your real estate career. This isn't just test prep, it's your ethical and legal framework. Keep reviewing, keep pushing, and make these principles second nature. You're ready, walk into that exam with confidence. I'm Patrick Lavin. Subscribe for more prep and real-world strategies. Let's dive into regulations next.